Welcome into another edition of Just a Minute with Joey Blackwell. I'm Katie Windham, and later on Wednesday, Alabama will have a big basketball game against Tennessee. But on Tuesday, we had our press conference, pre-Tennessee media availability, and the player was Noah Gurley. And that may seem a little surprising because in the last 4 games, Noah Gurley has played 14, 6, 0, and 3 minutes. So normally, they kind of bring up a guy that maybe hot or scoring a lot lately or something like that. But I think we saw with his answers yesterday why Noah Gurley is such a good leader of this team, talking about, he wants to see other people succeed. So, Joey, what have you seen on Noah Gurley and kind of the leadership of this team overall that's allowed them to be so successful?
Well, there's a reason that Noah Gurley was one of the players that went to SEC meetings, last year. Was him and Charles Bediako. And it's because of his leadership. Oates talked yesterday about how his attitude's been perfect. He says that he was talking about how he leads, how he talks. If you watched, he also said that if you watch during huddles, you'll see Gurley, leading the motivation, leading the guys, and that's something that you really want out of your veteran leaders on the team. And Noah Gurley's fit that to a T. And he's very selfless. It doesn't matter if he's getting no minutes or a lot of minutes. He knows his role and he's willing to contribute in whatever capacity he can. So, like I said, that's veteran leadership that you definitely want. But the leadership on this Alabama team is not just, with the older guys. That you have leaders from freshmen all the way up to, the grad students, guys that are willing to step up and say what needs to be said, but also not just talk the talk, but also walk the walk. Even players like Brandon Miller and Noah Clowney, even though it's their first year with the team, first year of college basketball, we've seen them time and time again be leaders. Javon Quinterly, of course, who's one of the older veterans, he's also a big leader, and he's also kind of in a similar situation to Gurley in that he's happy to contribute from the bench. This is a guy that was a bench player and was the SEC tournament MVP a couple of years ago, but then last year was a starter and then now is back on the bench again, and he's still doing a great job in that supporting role. So overall, the leadership has been a key factor to Alabama's success this season, because when you have key leadership or good leadership, you also have great chemistry. And there's a reason why they're the number one team in the country right now.
Mm-hmm. There's good leadership and positive attitudes, because even guys like Maury Burnett that started early in the year and had an injury, and so he's coming off the bench. There's no, I think to use a Saban term, there's no energy vampires, it seems like, on this team. Guys that are all about them, and instead it's about the team. And like you said, that's a big part of why they're now the number one team in the country. But that will wrap up today's Just a Minute. Thank you so much for watching.